First and foremost, all praises are due to Yahweh Bashim Habashai, Bashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone for teaching us his truth. Salutations to the brothers around the four corners of the earth who are teaching this word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel who listen and believe in this word. This is Brother Kawat Sabad coming at you with another lesson. This one is entitled, The Elect Will Ascend to the Heavens as Our Enemies Watch. So the elect I'm talking about are the 1/3 of the Hebrew Israelites who have hearkened to this word. And the ascending I'm talking about is when Yahushua comes on the day of the Lord in the big gigantic fathership, he's going to beam up, all right? He's going to extract the elect, the 1/3 elect of the Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans. He's going to beam them up into the big gigantic fathership, mostly here in Babylon, America, all right? The 1/3 elect. Now, Hebrew Israelites who are scattered in other places that aren't here in Babylon, America, they will be gathered up as well, you see? But the 1/3 elect I'm talking about is those who will be here in Babylon, America. And 2/3 of our people that don't hearken to this word, they're going to be destroyed in that lake of fire from nuclear missiles from Russia and the other nations, as well as laser fire coming from the chariots. So the elect will ascend to the heavens as our enemies watch. So we have many enemies. All the other nations are our enemies. If they're not Hebrew Israelites, they essentially are our enemies. They don't like us because they know we are the chosen of the Most High Yahweh. So let's get a precept for that. Let's go to Psalm chapter 83 and verse 1. And it reads, Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. Verse 2, For lo, thine enemies make atonement, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. All right, so we had many enemies in the Old Testament on into the New Testament that didn't like us. Verse 3, They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. And so when it says hidden ones, it means those of us who don't know who we are at this present stage. Many of us who are Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, many of us don't know that we're Hebrew Israelites. So it's become hidden to us. But we've been woken up, okay, particularly since 1969, when you had One West in Harlem and a man named Abba Bivens, okay, who was in his previous life, he was John and Elijah. He brought the truth of who we are back into the forefront. He taught other men, and they taught men, okay, on down to Elder Apostle Tahar of Great Millstone, who taught other men, and they taught other men. And then you had the internet, YouTube, 2007, 2008, where this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding has been propagated throughout the whole world. So the truth is coming out, you see. But when it says consulted against thy hidden ones, okay, it's talking about those of us who didn't know who we were. This knowledge has been hidden from us. Verse 4, They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. So like I said, that process happened over a period of time to where, you know, those of us, particularly those of us who are part of the Southern Kingdom, who were part of the transatlantic slave trade, okay, in about 1619 AD, all right? We particularly didn't know who we were after a period of time. Maybe when we came here to America in 1619 AD, we had an idea who we were, because there is proof that there were Hebrew Israelites who knew they were Hebrew Israelites when the slave trade did happen. But over 400 years, we've forgotten who we were. And our enemies made sure that the remembrance of who we were was wiped out of our memories, out of our brains. So we didn't know, you see. And we're just now coming into remembrance via the prophets, spreading this word via YouTube, via brother street preaching, so on and so forth, throughout the whole world, not just Babylon, America. So the other countries, the other nations have made sure that we don't come into remembrance, where it's to the point to where if you're a so-called Black, Latino, Native American, You can't say you're a Hebrew Israelite. You can't say, oh, you're not the Israelites. Okay, everybody else can be a Hebrew Israelite, okay, but us, you see. So that's been a thing that's been a crafty thing that's been devised by the other nations because they know that we are the chosen, okay, of Yahweh. We are the apple of his eye. We are a peculiar treasure. So that's been hidden from us, but the truth is coming out now. So let's continue. Verse 5, for they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee. So confederate means they are together, okay? They basically have, come together against us, all right? Signed the treaty against us, okay, so to speak. Made a, ununanimous decision to keep us from knowing who we are. Let's continue. Verse 6. And who are these nations? This will break it down. Verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom. Okay, that's, of course, the so-called white man, the devil. Okay, our adversary. He's our main enemy. And the Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs. Okay, of Moab, so-called Chinese. Okay, and the Hagarenes, who are really, you would consider them the Hamites. Okay, because Hagar was an Egyptian woman, you see, that married Abraham. Sarah gave her servant, her maiden, okay, her servant Hagar to Abraham to have a child. And she had a child called Ishmael, you see, because Abraham was not at that time able to have a child with Sarah until Isaac came along. And we know Isaac had two children named Jacob and Esau. Of course, Jacob had 12 sons. They're the 12 tribes of Israel. They are the Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. And Esau, okay, came out what? Hairy and red, or red like a hairy garment. So that's describing the so-called modern-day white people, okay? And they are our number one enemy, okay, the Edomites. Let's continue. Gebal and Ammon. Ammon is talking about Lot had two children, Moab and Ammon, who are the Ammonites, so-called Japanese, okay? And he had those two children because his daughters when he got drunk, he drank, they had sex with him, okay? His daughters did, all right? Lot, when he escaped out of Sodom and Gomorrah. So he had two children, okay? One by each daughter. One was named Moab, okay? Okay, so-called Chinese, and one was named Ammon, okay? So the Ammonites, so-called Japanese, all right? So Gebal and Ammon, okay, Gebal most likely is the Ishmaelite. You see in Amalek is he's an Edomite, okay? Your so-called fake Israeli small hats, they're descended from them, okay? The Amalekites, who are the Edomites. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. So that would be Hamites, okay, so-called Africans, so on and so forth, all right? It says here, Ashur also is joined with them. They have helped the children of Lot, allied with the descendants of Lot, who are the Ammonites and the Moabites, you see? So Ashur, most likely, is, you would probably say, an Ishmaelite, you see? You would probably classify him as an Ishmaelite or an Elamite, you see, which would be the Indians, so on and so forth, just to give you a breakdown. All right, so we have many enemies who don't want us to remember who we are, okay? But when we ascend to the air, hopefully we're part of the one-third elect that gets beamed up into that chariot on the day of the Lord. Our enemies, they're going to watch. They're going to be in amazement, okay, at what's going to happen. So let's continue. Let's go to Revelation 11 to get some precepts for that, as far as us ascending to the heavens, the one-third elect. Okay, we say hopeful, elect, and humility. Let's go to Revelation chapter 11, and Revelation 11 and verse 12. And let's do the NLT. Revelation 11, verse 12. And it reads, Then a loud voice from heaven called to the two prophets, Come up here. And they rose to heaven in a cloud as their enemies watched. So that's talking about when it says two prophets, that's talking about Israel, okay, or Ephraim, okay, who are the northern tribes, all right, the 9 northern tribes, all right, as well, who are the Native Americans and Latinos, as well as when it says Judah. So you have Israel and Judah, the two candlesticks, okay, which together form the 12 tribes of Israel, the 9 northern tribes, okay, known as Israel, or affectionately known as Ephraim, okay, as well as Judah, the three tribes, okay, the southern kingdom, okay, that's Levi, Benjamin, and Judah, all right, so-called blacks, okay, together, okay, it's the Hebrew Israelites, 12 tribes, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, who are scattered about the earth like the sand of the seashore. So we're everywhere. So you could have some Hebrew Israelites who are in China who look like they're Chinese, but their lineage goes back to Jacob, you see? And vice versa. You could have somebody who's a so-called Israelite who's really an Edomite because their lineage goes back to Esau, you see? But in general, we are spread out all over the world, the Hebrew Israelites. So our numbers are very, very vast, but only 1/3 of the elect is going to be saved on this side on the day of the Lord and get beamed up into those chariots and saved out of the destruction of Babylon, America. 2/3 will come back in the kingdom as the children of the 1/3 elect in the kingdom. The 2/3 of our people that have not hearkened to this word. Let's read this again, Revelation 11, verse 12, the NLT. Then a loud voice came from heaven, called to the 2 prophets, come up here. And they rose to heaven in a cloud as their enemies watched. Verse 13. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell. And in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. That's 7,000 for completion. The number 7 means completion. And the remnant were frightened and gave glory to the God of heaven, Yahweh. So this is speaking of Babylon, America, when the nuclear missiles are going to hit Babylon, America, as well as laser fire from the chariots of the Lord and the angels. It's going to destroy Babylon, America, and put it to a lake of fire. Now, other parts of the world are going to feel, the tumult, the energy of that destruction, but the main destruction is going to be here in Babylon, America, as well as Israel. But Israel will be rebuilt. Babylon, America will be destroyed and will be uninhabitable. Only wild animals and creatures will be here after the day of the Lord and that destruction happens. You see? So the remnant is talking about those of the Hebrew Israelites who are in other places around the world besides Babylon, America. They're going to give glory to Yahweh of heaven. And many of them will also be beamed up because the angels, the chariots, are going to go around the rest of the world and gather up, okay, the remnant of the Hebrew Israelites that are left, okay, that weren't beamed up as part of the 1/3 elect here in Babylon, America, and that weren't destroyed as part of the 2/3 of our people here in Babylon, America. You see? So let's continue. Let's go to another precept, the Wisdom of Solomon. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, and we have here verse 1. Then shall the righteous men stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. All right, so we're going to be standing in great boldness if we're part of the 1/3 elect that have, endured, did our best to rehearse the righteous acts, to live in righteousness, called on Yahweh Bashem Hawashai, had faith, so on and so forth. We're going to stand in great boldness on the day of the Lord, okay, before the face of such as have afflicted him, meaning the other nations that have afflicted us over time, all throughout the Old Testament, on into, the New Testament, on into the present day. And the top enemy will be, of course, the Edomites. You see, they're the top ones that have really, brought significant punishment against us. But that's part of the curses that we receive in Deuteronomy chapter 28 from verses 15 on down to 68. Those are the curses that we received for not following the laws, statutes, and the commandments given to us via Moses, via Yahweh, giving them to Moses. You see? So we went off. So we had to serve our punishment. But our punishment is about to be over. Okay? And it's going to be a reverse. Okay? On to the Edomites and the other nations that have afflicted us. All right? And made no account of our labors. What we've done to build up the world as well as Babylon, America, with our intelligence. When the first slaves came here from the transatlantic slave trade, they helped to build up America. They built the White House. Benjamin Banneker, he designed he mapped out and designed the whole of Washington. He did the whole design thing as far as Washington, D.C. was concerned. You see? So let's continue. Verse 2. When they see it, okay, when they see us stand in boldness, all right, as righteous people, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and they shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all that they looked for. So they're going to be in amazement at the one-third elect of the Hebrew Israelites, particularly here in Babylon, America, being beamed up into the chariots. You see, they're going to be amazed at it, because that's going to happen at the same time that the nuclear missiles are coming from Russia and the other nations hitting Babylon, America. The one-third elect is going to be beamed up at the same time. It's going to be destruction and deliverance. So they're going to see us being beamed up, Lord willing. I'm part of the one-third elect. They're going to see the one-third elect being beamed up. And at the same time, missiles are going to be coming. Okay, they're going to eat missiles. And also our people, the two-thirds of our people, the Hebrew Israelites who are here in Babylon, America, that have not hearkened to this word, repented, they're going to be destroyed with the Edomites, okay, the Moabites, so-called Chinese, Edomites, so-called white man, okay, the Hamites, so-called Africans, the Ishmaelites, so-called Arabs, so on and so forth, that are here in Babylon, America. So indeed, it will be a melting pot that day of people being destroyed via fire. It will be a melting pot. All right? No pun intended. But let's read this again. Let's go back up to the top. Okay, Wisdom of Solomon 5, verse 1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness, the one-third elect, before the face of such as have afflicted him, okay, our enemies, and made no account of his labors, okay, took advantage of us. Verse 2, when they shall see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, seeing these chariots beam us up so far beyond all that they looked for. They couldn't imagine we would be saved. Okay, like this. Verse 3, and they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, in a proverb of reproach. So these are the people that we talked about, that we hated on, that we afflicted. You see, they're going to have anguish within their spirit. Verse 4, we fools accounted his life madness, and his end to be without honor. So they've always thought that we were going to be on the bottom, the Hebrew Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. You see, that we would not get beamed up into a chariot, that we would forever be, our men in jail, the Native Americans on reservations, the Latinos and the barrios in last place. Now, only one-third of us are going to get saved on this side, but in the end, all of us are going to be saved, okay? Israel will be replenished because the two-thirds will be born in the kingdom as the children of the one-third elect. So we all are going to be replenished and have eternal lives in the end. It's just going to happen in stages. So they thought that, especially the Edomites, they think their kingdom is going to go on forever. So they're trying to do things to make it go on forever, even though they're being directed by Yahweh. Okay, man's comings and goings are of the Lord, Proverbs 20 and 24. Everything is being construed, constructed, orchestrated by Yahweh. Even him coming up with the MOTB, spoken of in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16 and 17. Even him inventing the nuclear missiles that are going to end up destroying him in the end on the day of the Lord. All right, so verse 5. How is he numbered among the children of Yahweh, and his lot is among the saints? So they're continuing to say, our enemies are saying, on that day of the Lord, when it happens, how are they numbered among the children of Yahweh? You see, okay, even though really deep down inside, they know we are the chosen of the Lord. We are the apple of his eye. But they're saying, how is he numbered? You see, among the children of Yahweh. And his lot is among the saints. Because us as Hebrew Israelites, whether you know you're a Hebrew Israelite or not, we are the saints of the Most High Yahweh. Verse 6, Therefore have we erred from the way of truth, and the light of righteousness hath not shined unto us, and the sun of righteousness rose not upon us. So they have erred from the way of truth, you see, in the light of righteousness, which really is us. We are the light of righteousness. Those that have come back, those of us who are Hebrew Israelites, who have come back into the fold of this truth, repented and converted, the light is shining on us right now. That's why Esau, our main enemy, he knows that he's running out of time. So he has to implement his new world order plan. The elites of the Edomites, the bankers that control everything. You see? So verse 7, we wearied ourselves in the way of wickedness, in destruction. Yea, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. You see? So they wearied themselves in the ways of wickedness and destruction. Like I said, the Edomites, they're the main, they're the sons of the wicked. You see? They are the wicked, spoken of in Malachi, I believe, chapter 1 and verse 4. All right? They are the sons of the wicked. So they are, they are our top-notch enemy, Esau is. Because Esau, he lost his inheritance and his blessing, all right? And it's in Genesis, all right? So they are our twin brother, but they despise us because they lost the inheritance. We gained the inheritance, okay? Jacob did. Jacob had 12 sons, the 12 tribes of Israel, the Hebrew Israelites. We have the inheritance. We are the chosen people of the Most High Yahweh. So they're going to try to get their inheritance back by, coming up with the MOTB, even though that plan is that's being orchestrated by Yahweh. So he's making everything going according to the way he wants it. He controls the left and the right. Like I said in Isaiah chapter 45, I believe it's verse 7, I create good, I create evil. So he's the great ultimate director. We're all just actors in his big movie production. You see? So let's continue. Let's read verse 8. What hath pride profited us, or what good hath riches with our vaunting brought us? So what good was it that we, went around the whole world plundering shit, particularly the Edomites, destroying shit, destroying lands, destroying the environment, bringing wickedness upon everybody on the planet Earth, stealing gold, stealing all types of resources. What good has that profited them, when they're going to when they're going to see us, Lord willing, I'm part of the elect, when they're going to see the elect ascend to the heavens and get the glory of Yahweh. You see, what good is it being rich? It has profited us, to nothing, because they're going to watch the 130 elect get beamed up out of this destruction of Babylon, America, and they're going to be destroyed in that lake of fire. Let's go to Revelation chapter 18, and this will be the last set of scriptures. Revelation 18, and we have here verse 1. And it says here, Babylon is fallen. And that's talking about Babylon, America. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven. This is John the Apostle speaking. He got the revelation on the island of Patmos, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. Verse 2, and he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great is fallen, and has become the habitation of devils, in the hold of every foul spirit, in a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. That's talking about Babylon, America. She's evil. She's wicked. The food is bad. The environment, men with men, women with women, pedophilia, bestiality. This devil Esau, he's very wicked. You see, nothing but wickedness, encircles this man. So let's continue. Verse 3, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. So all the other nations, they're also going to fall, or have fallen, because they drunk the wine. They drunk the wine of Babylon, America. They committed fornication with Babylon, America, because they fell for it. For the Edomites, so-called white men, the devil, the adversary, they fell for the lifestyles of the rich and famous. They wanted to be like Esau. and the Edomites. So their countries are ruined. Okay, certain countries didn't have their problem with men and with women and bestiality and pedophilia, but they've adapted all the bad wickedness of Esau and the Edomites in Babylon, America, and brought it upon their nations. Now their nations are in ruin because they drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication. They drunk that Kool-Aid, you see? Verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, meaning, separate yourselves from Babylon, America. That's the 1/3 elect that are being gathered right now, that have come back to the fold, that are calling on Yahweh, okay, the Most High, in the name of, okay, Yahweh, the Son, the Redeemer, that are returning to knowing who we are as a people, and that are doing our best to rehearse the righteous acts, that are doing our best to walk in the Spirit, that have faith, that are waiting for Yahweh to come back to destroy this place, that we believe in Yahweh, that he was here, that he died, that he was resurrected, that he is currently on the right-hand side of the Father and waiting instructions to come down and beam up the 1/3 elect and destroy Babylon, America, and establish his kingdom as King of Kings and Lord of Lords. So it's saying, come out of her. Okay, that's talking about, come out of her, meaning the 1/3 elect is going to be beamed up into the big, gigantic chariot. All right? Okay? Because that last plague is going to be total destruction, okay, of Babylon, America, via nuclear missiles and via laser fire from the chariots of the Most High. So on that note, I hope this lesson was edifying to you, and I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bashim Hawashah, Bashim Mekakwadash, Shalom.